Well, hello everybody. A very warm welcome to today's Live at the Waterhole show. I don't currently know what these birds are, so I'm going to say and I am coming to you live and interactive from sunny South Africa. It is Valentine's Day, the 14th of February. Hello everyone, welcome and happy Valentine's Day to everybody. Thank you for being here today. I'm still not sure what birds these are. Okay, so straight out of the gates. Can anyone help me with what birds these are? They've got like blue faces. We are up at Safari Hook. I don't instantly recognise these. They absolutely could be abdom storks. Let me just check here. Oh, and there's a lion in the background. Oh dear, the perils of being a birder. I was deep into my birding app, and there's a huge big male lion asleep there at the back of the screen. Happy Valentine's Day, everyone. Here, have a lion. They are indeed abdom storks. I've never seen those storks up that close. Fascinating blue faces. But please do get involved with this today. You are welcome to get in touch either via WhatsApp, X at Wild Earth, Facebook Wild Earth Live, Instagram Wild Earth Official, or of course on our YouTube channel at Wild Earth. You are all very welcome. Please do jump in, get involved, send us your questions, your thoughts, your comments. It's wonderful to have everyone here today. Along with this lion, who I did not see at all. I'm not sure how long this boy has been here. His posterior is still in the sun a little bit, so he might at some point move to a slightly or a more completely covered shade area. I believe you have all been enjoying the sounds of nature throughout the week. So I'm not going to talk too much today. It will be a bit of a shock to the system. But how lovely that we have this lovely male lion here, snoozing up at a Safari Hook. Mr. H, UAE. Thank you very much. It's great to be back. Excellent start to the show. Didn't know what the bird was and didn't see the lion in the first 30 seconds. LEPR, yes. Hello, boy. You're giving us a... Oh, what's happening? What's happening? LEPR, lion boy, is indeed beautiful. Thank you very much for giving us a lovely look at your face there. I'm not sure when this boy arrived here. Anyone that has been watching the live cameras for the duration of the morning, I would love to hear the circumstances around when this boy showed up. Nice big adult male. I could not give you any indication of who this lion is. He's definitely a nice big adult. Snoozing the morning away. Cardiff Stitcher Daniel, or Danielle, Cardiff Stitcher Danielle. Right, second time. He is a very handsome boy. He could be here the entire day, or he could get up and wander off any minute now. Who knows? LEPR, he is an absolute beauty. You're saying you love the lions, and he is a beauty. I would be inclined to agree with you. I'm not sure if there's any other friends present. Friends, Pride members, females, other males. There's a active stalk nose just there at the bottom of the screen. But yeah, that is an absolute classic. I had no idea that lion was there. But let's head across to Lantoro. I'm sure this boy may stay put for a little bit. We will keep an eye on him. And if we get any other activity, we will of course scoot you back over. Yay, I love watching these guys here. I'm trying to decide who to watch. There's a little group there in the background having a nice team grooming session. Nice big adult positioned on this tree here. I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm just waiting to see what this big guy is up to on that tree. All these sub-adults hanging around. Generally up to mischief, I would imagine. I'm watching this big guy now. What's going on up there? Back off the mic. Are we going to lose this camera? Oh look, now we've got a little warthog family coming in. Oh, how beautiful. I thought we were going to lose that camera then. Live camera destruction. Where did those warthogs go? They look very relaxed, and you know, while they're not technically a big adult baboon would probably eat a little tiny warthog, maybe. Oh, these aren't small though. See, this is my favourite, watching behaviours, watching species interact or choosing not to interact with one another. Cardiff Stitch Danielle, no, that baboon was definitely looking like he was going to block out the camera for a while. What a crazy hair on these warthogs. See, I can't get my hair that straight. That's look. Oh, glorious. Happy as a pig in poop. I think that is exactly where that phrase comes from. The other one going to also plop down. Oh no, maybe they are a little bit twitchy with these baboons so close. these warthogs, and they don't look like... They don't look like super big, mature adults to me. But I could be wrong. But then my brain is going, what happens to young warthogs when they leave mum? Would they go off in a pair? In family groups for quite a long time, so maybe I'm imagining it. Maybe that was two adults there, but they look like sort of not enormous, great big guys. And this big baboon is still sat on this tree. Is he just using it as a seat? A little bit of extra elevation. Maybe there's ants on the ground or something that are getting on his nerves. So he's rather sitting up there. I thought for a minute that maybe he was chomping on that tree. Baboons will often use those huge canines to open trees and utilise the sap that comes out of them. LEPR, yes, those both of those warthogs did have glorious hair. If only mine would sit that nice and straight. This little one on the left is very, very young. Like sitting right with, I assume, Mum. Oh, look. I'd love to know. I would love to know what they're thinking. Oh, a bit too far. Like, are they sitting with empty heads? Are their heads completely silent and they're just doing? Or are they? Oh, look. Or are they actually considering? I would love to know. That posture with those elbows on those knees. Oh, this little one is... Oh. Is it all just instinctive? Like it... Oh, I wish we could sort of... We can only go on what we're seeing. Same as, body language. That's how I work with dogs. What do they look like they're feeling? But I guess we'll never really know. Tina, you're asking, can they be dangerous to humans? The answer to both is yes, absolutely. Tina, they can be talk here. Okay, sorry about that, Tina. If my sound was breaking up, I do apologise. Tech is the bane of my life. Tina, you are asking, can they be dangerous to humans? Yes, absolutely. Oh, these can't though. Well, they can. Actually, I lied. Most things actually have potential to be dangerous to humans, baboons especially. If I had a choice of being stuck in a room with an impala, a zebra, a warthog or a baboon, I would choose the other three, and the baboon very much last. Baboons have huge canine teeth, size of a lion, and a big male baboon would rip a human to shreds very, very quickly should he want to. I give all animals lots and lots of space. Male impala, even male impalas, I've been around very close to male impala. Huge. They're really, really big. Their horns are really, really pointy. Zebras, I'm a horse rider. You do not want to get kicked in any way, shape or form by any sort of equine, I can assure you. So most things, to be honest, Tina. And melanistic marble, you're enjoying how those baboons are drooping their front paws. Paws, hands, paws? I don't know. Hands? Paws? I think I'd have to call them hands. I'm not sure if that's technically completely accurate, but I think I'd want to call them hands because they look almost exactly like a human hand. If you put a human handprint on the ground next to a baboon's handprint, it's you will see just the mark. I do really enjoy this camera here. You really feel like you're part of it. Lovely images of these beautiful zebra. A nice opportunity to see just how different their stripes are. I often pick the point of the top of a leg, so where those stripes go up the leg and then where they join at the top of that front leg, it's very easy to see the very different stripe patterns. Nikki, you're asking, can zebra injure lions with the kick? Absolutely. If they caught a lion wrong in the face, or I don't know, don't quote me on it, but possibly like under those front legs where their heart might sit, it wouldn't surprise me if they could kill a lion. Very, very powerful kicks. I've been kicked by horses a couple of times, and they can do an awful lot of damage. That zebra got a bit of a fright there. Lots of these prey species can be very twitchy around water, very flighty. Anyone that knows horses will be well aware of this. Actually, I would love to hear, are there any other horse riders out there, or anyone that's spent time around horses? Incredible creatures. I've been around horses most of my life, but they can often be very, very twitchy. I had a horse many years ago, and he wasn't too bad with things like, diggers or really scary things, but he used to see lots and lots of, I used to call them fairies in the bushes. These invisible beings that would scare the life out of him.
When nature calls, Maui is the only answer. Satisfy your wanderlust and take to the open road in one of our fully equipped motorhomes. Boasting a fridge, gas stovetop, AC and bathroom, our motorhomes are comfortable and spacious, making any self-drive adventure in the Kruger or garden route memorable. Whether you travel alone, as a couple or the whole family, Maui has a motorhome for you. Maui, home where you roam.
Did you know that 90% of Madagascar's wildlife exists nowhere else on Earth? The Indri's haunting howl echoes through misty rainforest, a sound we will never forget. Travel east where lemurs soar through emerald canopies and coral reefs shimmer beneath turquoise seas. This isn't just a journey. It's a once-in-a-lifetime wildlife adventure I'd like to take you on. Join me, James Hendry, on this exclusive island safari.
I get to wake up every morning and go out there and look for cats. I get to create my everyday safari for myself. I grew up in the sort of central eastern suburbs of Johannesburg, fully qualified trails guide and a fully qualified nature conservationist. I love the wild places. I love being in the wilderness. It's probably one of the best jobs I've ever had and probably ever could have.
When adventure calls, answer with Brits. Take on Southern Africa's most breathtaking landscapes from behind the wheel of a fully equipped 4x4 or SUV. From tents and bedding to a fridge and full kitchen gear, everything you need is already on board. And with 24-hour roadside assistance, you're free to go further and explore with confidence. Open roads, total freedom, no limits, just the journey ahead. Brits, equipped for adventure.
I do apologise. There seems to be a few tech bits and pieces going on today, but I'm really glad I got back because I really want to go back to Kim. I said don't, and then I got cut off. I was half joking about starting your child horse riding. It's an ongoing, a very expensive thing for a child. However, I am firmly of the belief that getting kids involved in caring for another being, taking responsibility for actions, learning that they don't always get their way, horses don't always do what you want them to do, you fall, you get up, you try again, is incredibly beneficial to kids. Look at it, I have seen this gorgeous lizard, but this is a very important point I want to finish off rather than just dissuading people from getting their children into horse riding. I've actually got a very good friend who struggled a bit with making friends and struggled a bit with her weight, and she was quite insecure, quite shy, and she came to groom a pony that I was helping with many years ago now, and she really enjoyed it, and she came again to help groom the pony, and then she ended up having riding lessons, and she actually went on. She's done a degree in equine care now, and she's a grown-up, and cold, wet mornings and expenses. But Kim,
When nature calls, Maui is the only answer. Satisfy your wanderlust and take to the open road in one of our fully equipped motorhomes. Boasting a fridge, gas stovetop, AC and bathroom, our motorhomes are comfortable and spacious, making any self-drive adventure in the Kruger or garden route memorable. Whether you travel alone, as a couple or the whole family, Maui has a motorhome for you. Maui, home where you roam.
Even a hyena coming into the action as well now. Oh my word! She's stalking the hyena now. Leopard, hyena, lion, all together in one shot. Oh. This is action-packed.
When adventure calls, answer with Brits. Take on Southern Africa's most breathtaking landscapes from behind the wheel of a fully equipped 4x4 or SUV. From tents and bedding to a fridge and full kitchen gear, everything you need is already on board. And with 24-hour roadside assistance, you're free to go further and explore with confidence. Open roads, total freedom, no limits, just the journey ahead. Brits, equipped for adventure.
moment, but hello, everybody. I am absolutely devastated. I've just been doing some tech type updates with some very clever people that have been helping me. And I saw on my other screen that there was mating lions. Oh, that is the most epic sighting I have ever had on live at the waterhole. And I could not share it with you. So I hope you all enjoyed it. Very, very cool. I believe I'm back. Let's see how we get on. I apologise for any confusion. But it was probably nice to have a break from me wittering on for a little while. But yeah, I was literally working with the tech department as I was watching mating lions on my other screen. So I guess I know what that guy's been up to. But thank you for hanging around. These we've got some zebra now up at the Kalahari salt pan. Looking a bit twitchy about going in the water there. That is, yeah, I think probably in all the time I've been doing these shows, I think I've maybe had lions 3 or 4 times, and certainly never mating lions. It's not the best sighting. I've had some amazing sightings on here. I've seen cool things, but from a big game viewing perspective, so I guess it depends how you look at it. What are the chances? So thank you all for hanging around. I think, was it Kim? I hope you caught the end of my lectures about children and horse riding. Who else did we have through? Harry Lolly, we got a hello from Breezy Cape Town. Thank you very much for being here. And then we started losing me. But now I'm back. Wildlife Lady. Wow, this is definitely Zebra Valley. There is definitely some zebra activity going on here. And look how far in the water they are. It often surprises me that more animals don't spend more time in water. I know there's crocodiles in there, but it's just so hot. I think I might end up being that slightly unusual zebra that went and sat down in it. Although you don't. So I've only ever really watched. I spent many, many months watching horses in the UK, and I'm not surprised they don't get in water. I've seen horses going into the water and they sort of walk around. They'll sometimes roll, but they don't stay in. They often go in and sometimes they'll roll if it's... See that zebra at the back there? I just saw them. That's a classic equine clue that something's going to roll, is that pawing with one of those front feet. It was always a slight moment of panic. If you were on a horse and they started pawing at the ground, you would quickly request that they probably didn't roll over and squash you. Mercedes Bean. Hello, Mercedes Bean. I am indeed back for... possibly the 4th time today. How cool are those palm trees in that image? That's a beautiful scene, actually. Those palm trees waving in the wind and all these zebra enjoying the water. Nancy, you are asking, do zebras have a leader that they follow? From what I understand of zebra behaviour, I believe they're guided by a stallion. But the first thing that came to my mind there is those migrations, and obviously those huge numbers of zebra in those massive migrations are part of a bigger picture. but they're not. I'm just trying to think who would go, right, it's time to walk. I guess it's an instinct that, but as far as I'm aware, a stallion is in control of standard zebra herds. They're actually very possessive of their family groups. They will often... We are going... Oh, go back to safari. Please, please, please. Let's go back to these lions. It's often initiated by... Wow. Amazing. A first time I've ever... I'm not going to talk over this sound. Amazing. And that, see, this female has just rolled over. This behaviour is called lordosis, I believe. Amazing. I'm so glad I got to share that with you. That was a... Actually, is it lordosis? I used to say it was lordosis, and then I read something else somewhere more recently that maybe it's not technically called lordosis, but this rolling over behaviour, pretty typical of the female. And I was going to say mating often initiated by the female, which it is, but I had a very funny sighting over Christmas and New Year, very much initiated by the male. I'm not sure if she's going, right, you can go away now, or he's genuinely just trying to find a spot in the shade close to her and she's sort of blocked him. So what's the time? It's 7 minutes past 12 here in South Africa. So between us, we must keep an eye and see if these lions do indeed mate again before the end of the show. Or it doesn't have to be during the show. You can time it for the whole day if you want. But books say lions stay together 3 to 4 days, 4 to 5 days, and mate roughly every 20 minutes. I was fortunate enough over Christmas and New Year there were mating lions that were around for a couple of days, and they mated on the nose 3 times in a row at 20 minutes. It was actually, the first one was like 19 minutes, and then it was 20, and then I think it was 19 again. And by the 3rd day, we timed it, and it got to 24 minutes. But fascinating to see that actually in action. So yeah, I guess we know what this guy has been doing here. See, you would not know there was a pair of mating lines there. I'm not sure if we can zoom out a little bit, but it would be very, very easy. Well, I didn't notice him at the start of the show. I was busy looking at the abdomen stalks. It isn't a brilliant idea to surprise mating lions. Well, it's not a brilliant idea to surprise any lions. But males can be, well, and females. They're busy. They're engaged in important activities, and they don't really want to be surprised or disturbed. It's a good idea to give them even more space than you normally would. I know I certainly do. I will always do a very close assessment of how animals are feeling if they have been mating, just to see if they're what's okay and what thresholds, boundaries, thresholds, if they are different than one might expect See, there's no way you would look at that, and they're not even in pickets. That literally just looks like a bit of grass there. Ah, our stalks are still there. Absolutely no way you would see that. It's just, there's lots of Abdon stalks there. Thank you very much for zooming out there. Wow, there's a vast amounts. But yeah, is there a lion in this picture? Absolutely, there's two, but very, very difficult to see. But people often forget animals' thresholds or boundaries or what's okay and what isn't. It very much changes depending on the situation, the mood, what they've been doing, what's happened the previous day, what's happened that morning. Just because, and sometimes when I go to different reserves, I often speak to people that are there or have been there on a long-term basis. You know what sort of characteristics or types of lions are here. Are they relaxed? Are they nervous? Do they get cross? And people will often say, no, these lions are relaxed. Or sometimes they'll say, oh, you know, this pride's a bit twitchy or whatever. People, no, these lions are relaxed. But I always rather check with the lions, because if someone has had a particularly bad morning or has just been chased by an elephant, then it can produce very, very different reactions. As opposed to if there's been absolutely no external stimuli. But yeah, you definitely wouldn't place that as a lion. I wouldn't anyway. And it would depend on the wind. Can't really see which direction the wind is blowing. Very easy for a kudu or a zebra come wandering in for a stroll and not pick that up. But of course, if the wind was blowing from the lions across the water, there's a good chance they would pick that scent up. Janet, brilliant question. Are lions not opportunistic hunters, even during mating? Depends, Janet. It's always so difficult to answer. I've seen more lions ignore prey species than chase them. Put it that way. I don't know if that has any impact on anything. Mating, again, it would depend. Sometimes lions will break away from a group or a pride if they are mating. So a male and a female might break away. Both of these two might be part of a pride. This female might have female chums, but they will often split away from a pride. It could mean that if the pride has caught something, this female will not have got any food out of it, or the male. But they're busy. It would depend on what the prey species was, how hungry they were, possibly how hot it was, how much energy they had used during mating. If a little injured, lonely baby zebra wandered over, it wouldn't surprise me at all if they made a meal of it. But equally, it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't. That's the beauty of nature. You never quite know. There are some things that you can have a jolly good guess at, but it seems the longer around I am and the more I understand, the less I know, which is quite frustrating. I used to happily say with gusto that this animal does this and this animal eats this and this is what will happen in this situation. But yeah, I've just been proved wrong so many times. One of a premium, I've got so many examples of that. But a premium prime example is the first kill I ever saw. I was actually with my cousin. She came out to visit at the time. Hello, Jan, if you're listening. And there was a pride of lions all sleeping, big open space at a waterhole, as we see fairly typically. They were actually on the dam wall. Most of them were on the dam wall. There was sort of one at the bottom. 7 o'clock in the morning. It was already quite warm. And from the other side of the dam, there was some zebra. Some zebra came out the tree line, but I don't know, a good 80 metres, 100 metres away. And everyone said, oh, are they going to hunt the zebra? I said, no. I said, everyone's in the open. There's no cover for them to stalk. The zebra will probably already know they're there because everyone's in the open. And we sat and watched for a bit. And then this little foal walked out the tree line. And this lioness looked. She looked at her pride. She looked. And she stood up. She ran across the water and swiped this baby zebra. I was like, okay, I feel quite silly. I've still got the clip of that, which is incredible. I might put it up on my Kelly Field Guide social media. I haven't watched that for a long time, actually, but fascinating to see the speed that she accelerates at, completely open, no cover. And we spend our entire career saying, lions will use cover to stalk, and yeah, we just get proved wrong time and time again. So yeah, that was a really long way of answering that, Janet. And the end result was, it depends, as is so often the case. Okay, that was 12:07. Okay, I thought she was going to initiate another mating then. Let's see what happens. Maybe it's getting a bit too warm. Maybe there's not enough shade. Maybe they're going to go deeper into the block there to find a little bit more shade. Are they going to mate before? Is this mating or is? Okay, so that was 11 minutes because we literally sat here and timed it. 12 minutes by my clock. So yeah, that was mating after 12 minutes, which is a perfect demonstration of when books say they stay together for 3 to 4 days and mate every 20 minutes, sometimes more regularly. Sometimes more regularly again. Yes, that is an absolute treat and something very special to capture live on the show. I wonder if this, I'm not sure how long this pair have been around, but lions will often stay in a similar area. I have noticed that they sort of pick an area and sort of stay around there. Sometimes they will leave to find water, but they've got an excellent water source here. So maybe this is their honeymoon suite. Maybe they've been here for a little while already. Billy Judd, when will we see cubs? Great question, Billy Judd. Lions are pregnant for 110 days. I think it's 110 days. A really rough. I can't remember how long everything is is pregnant for. But as a rule, roughly, predators is about 3 months, prey species is about 6 months, somewhere around there, depending on the species. But as a rule, predators are not pregnant as long because most of their young are born helpless. So they're born without having been in so long. And your prey species, they have to sort of be able to move and stuff. So they tend to be pregnant for slightly longer, but that's a approximation. I'm sure lions have got in my head is pregnant for 110 days. So let's count forwards. That's 90. 3.5 months. May, middle of June, maybe. But we probably wouldn't. She's up again. This is a big lioness. Wow. She's huge. You see that chest, those chest muscles on there? Okay, so we were, that last mating was at, this is a big girl, at 19, 12:19 by my clock. And it's only been 4 minutes. I think she's maybe looking for more shade. She is a big lioness though. You be careful there, boy. But sorry, that question. When will we see cubs? We often don't see cubs for a while. We will sometimes see them early if they're moving locations, but often we don't see cubs till they're around about 8 weeks old. So June, July. So I think I might. That was another one. That was sort of after 5 minutes. So yeah, anyone who believes they mate every 20 minutes, we have evidence otherwise. Oh, Limbury, thank you, Limbury. They arrived a couple of hours ago. But he's staying close on her tail for sure. So Billy Judge, if these lions stay here and have cubs here and hide them here and then bring them out here, we might see cubs here in August-ish. But that's a lot of mites in there. Yeah, there's trees here, but they're not exactly nice, big, lovely, lush, thick, bushy, lots of cover trees. So I think they're maybe going to look for a bit more shade.
When nature calls, Maui is the only answer. Satisfy your wanderlust and take to the open road in one of our fully equipped motorhomes. Boasting a fridge, gas stovetop, AC and bathroom, our motorhomes are comfortable and spacious, making any self-drive adventure in the Kruger or garden route memorable. Whether you travel alone, as a couple or the whole family, Maui has a motorhome for you. Maui, home where you roam.
My name is Amy, and behind the camera with me is Paul. And I mean, to be able to share it with all of you. Fingers crossed, and I'll make sure I wear my lucky leopard socks as well.
The Wild Earth Impact Foundation is a non-profit that uses the power of wildlife storytelling as a force for good. We create sustainable development projects that showcase conservation stories, empower people, and inspire environmental action. As a registered South African PBO, you can make a tax-deductible donation to the Wild Earth Impact Foundation. To find out more, visit our website.
When adventure calls, answer with Brits. Take on Southern Africa's most breathtaking landscapes from behind the wheel of a fully equipped 4x4 or SUV. From tents and bedding to a fridge and full kitchen gear, everything you need is already on board. And with 24-hour roadside assistance, you're free to go further and explore with confidence. Open roads, total freedom, no limits, just the journey ahead. Brits, equipped for adventure.
It's so human the way they sit like that. Just sitting having a chill, watching the world go by. Oh, found something to eat on the floor there. What was that? See, there's other baboons up on that tree now as well. I wonder what they're doing up there. Has anyone ever seen them feeding or chomping, or are they just using it like a seat? Just a little bit of elevation maybe. Just bending down but looking, always keeping an eye on things. Having a peer across the water. See, those, they've got to be called hands, surely. Miranda, you're asking, do baboons have competition in terms of food? Technically, yes, because they will feed on things that other things feed on. So they'll feed on fruits, which lots of birds or antelope feed on. They feed on insects which birds or, I don't know, amphibians feed on. But we don't often see too much competition between species, as in like a baboon stealing a fruit off an antelope sort of thing. Sometimes there will be some food competition in a troop, but even then you don't see it too. Actually, my head is swaying more to unnatural situations, where I've watched baboons interacting if they're in human areas and they've stolen something, and the other baboons will go and chase after them to get it off them. But in natural situations, I've seen baboons and antelope all stood underneath a jackalberry feeding very, very happily. So while technically food competition is are there other things competing for resources? The answer is yes. Wow. Thought we were going to get to see those canines then. So technically, oh, what's going on there? I don't think that's. I'm not entirely convinced that was not quite. See the trouble that caused. Oh, I don't think that was an actual mating. I think that was sort of practice or maybe play. But you see how that big male said, we're not doing that. That's what it looked like to me anyway. So yeah, Miranda, long answer as is standard for me. But technically, your question was, do baboons have competition in terms of food? Technically, yes. Do we often see competition for food in natural situations? For me, I haven't seen it too many times. My standard view of baboons feeding is they all just vibe and they find stuff. And if someone's got something really good, another baboon might sort of go, oh, that looks good. But I haven't seen it much. No, look at those. It feels to me like they're just using this as a seat. I guess that would be better visibility. Maybe there are bugs and stuff on the floor, so they're just getting their posteriors up off the floor a bit. Let's see if someone else goes up there. Just someone else's turn to use the seat. Let's watch. Oh no, we're gonna rather pick his bum. Also works. Gonna go on the seat. They're taking it in turns. I think that's glorious. This is obviously a coveted position in this area. Can anyone see any ants or anything on the ground? Not really. Maybe it's a bit cooler up there. A bit more airflow. That would also make sense. Whose turn is it to go in the seat? I've never noticed that before, that they take it in turns to sit there. I certainly don't ever remember anyone saying, right, get down, it's my turn. Animals are amazing. If you look, he's resting his foot up there, might be a bit easier to have a good groom of your feet, like a footrest up there. Oh, is there going to be an argument over the seat? See, this is where I struggle a bit. People say you shouldn't anthropomorphisize. Oh, are you going to do that again? Shouldn't anthropomorphisize animals. It's very, very difficult not to, because we are human and we can only really interpret things in human terms. I don't know how a baboon would view this situation because I'm not a baboon. Well, some might argue that, but I can only view it from a human perspective. Oh, look at that tiny one. What's going on with that tree? To me, it looks like everyone taking it in turn to up on the tree, which in turn is beneficial. Because otherwise, why would they be doing it? It's very. Then we drift off down into neuroscience and Panksepp's emotionality systems, the different systems that motivate mammalian brains, but things don't get repeated if there is no benefit from it. in the animal kingdom, if a baboon is enjoying sitting up there for whatever reason, it's going to sit up there again. If it's not enjoying sitting up there, then it's not going to sit up there again. If there is no benefit, if there is no reinforcement from doing that thing, it doesn't get repeated, sort of thing. So there must be a benefit for these baboons to sit up here. Look, there we go, perfect footrest. I can rest my foot and my toes up there, have a good dig around in them. Boy, there's so much to learn from watching animals. So much to learn. Nope, no, I'm leaving. I find this really, really interesting. Honestly, I find this more fascinating than those mating lions. I'm desperate to see if these baboons swap seats again. Okay? That little one went in, and was that bigger baboon going up? See, who's going to go there now? See, those little ones look like they're playing more than enjoying it. Oh, there's an impala at the back there. See, now no one's using the seat. Obviously not that beneficial because they'd be fighting over it. Or someone would certainly be taking it in turns, but I find that so interesting. So interesting. Melanistic Marble, you were saying inappropriate behaviour. Inappropriate behaviour, according to the big one, that did not agree with it. Then we get down to the sections. What is inappropriate behaviour? It depends on who is perceiving it as inappropriate. Sorry, that's a bit rambly and deep. Catherine, you are going back to the earlier chat. You've owned horses for 30 years now. Oh, look, we've got another seat taker. My turn. I want to come too. You're going to share. Catherine, I rode from... I started riding lessons when I was about 4. And I lost my horse in an accident 20-odd years ago. But I used to compete. I used to... I have my own horse for many years. And I still try and ride from time to time. Oh, I'm getting older now. But yeah, they're not for the faint-hearted. It's definitely it's not a small undertaking. It's very much a lifestyle. Rain or shine, hot or cold. It's a whole different way of living, being a horse guardian. And interesting how I've started using different phrasings. I've been seeing clips recently of this tackless riding where people are riding in just a neck rope. Absolutely incredible. Over the last few years, my thought processes have changed differently about how we interact with animals. These little ones. I'll be interested to see if an adult's going to come over. So the seat's not for playing, seat's for enjoyment. If you're going to play, go over there. I've honestly never noticed them using that edge of that tree like that before. I do remember seeing, I think it was a baboon. There was a baboon here that wasn't very well. It was a while ago now, actually. I think. I wonder if that guy recovered nicely. Definitely the place to be though if you're a baboon. I can hear lots of little blue waxbills calling now. I assume blue waxbills, they're definitely waxbills. I keep forgetting that we're all over Africa with these cameras. It certainly sounds like a blue waxbill. Tracy, you're saying their human-like mannerisms always get me. Me too. Oh no, someone else's turn on the seat now. It's impossible. We can't not anthropomorphisize animals because we are humans. We've got no other way of looking at it. Look at this tiny little baby with his little pink bottom. See, this one's having a snooze, using it like a pillow. This small one. Having a nibble on his tail, having a nibble on his foot. I could watch these baboons all day. Let's head across to Kalahari Salt Pan. I think this is where all those zebras were. Ooh, all those zebras were earlier. Let's see who we've got there now. Oh, we still have lots of zebras here. See, and interestingly, after I was saying earlier, we don't normally see them hanging around in the water. Those ones at the back there, they're just standing there. In my experience, zebras will normally walk in and drink. Even horses sort of maybe get down, have a roll, and then they come out again. But look at all those zebra at the back. They've been here for a while now. Some of them are still drinking, but some of them are just standing with nice cool legs, which looks like a great idea to me. Great spot for zebras as well. Look, in the middle there, they've got there's a couple of birds or something at the back there, picking their way between the zebras in the water, like ducks. But those zebra, they've got some grass here. Not much shade. Maybe that's why they're choosing to stand in the water. Whereas if there was shade, they'd get back out and stand under the shade. There isn't much shade around, so they're just keeping their legs nice and cool in there. Yeah, they're quite happily chilling in there. They're definitely enjoying this pan. See, again, I said earlier, oh, you don't normally find zebras standing around in the water. There we go, proved wrong instantly. Valerie, you're asking, how do they know there aren't any crocs in the water? They don't, Valerie. It could be that they visited this pan often, not bumped into a crocodile yet. But how does anyone ever know if there's a croc in the water? You know there is one, if you've seen one. But just by not seeing one, it doesn't mean they're not there. I was given some great tips by some wonderful mentors when I first arrived in South Africa, and I've said it many times before, and I'll say it again. I was told if it's bigger than a sink, there might be a crocodile in it. And I have held that to heart for many, many years. What's the phrase? The absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Or something like that. Just because you haven't seen it, it doesn't mean it's not there. It could be they're regular visitors. They've spent a lot of time standing around in here before. They look very relaxed. Up their bellies, lots of them. Once again, unusual behaviour captured by these cameras. And there's more coming in as well, look. It almost even looks like these are different family groups coming in that are happily chilling together. Chrysinda, I'm so glad you're enjoying the view of the animals and the sounds at the waterholes. And yeah, it's Valentine's Day. There is nowhere I would rather be on Valentine's Day than watching baboons sit on a tree. And observing lots and lots of zebra standing around, loitering in the water. There's lots coming in. I'm not actually sure of like standard zebra numbers or social structure in this particular area. Zebras technically, you know, again, you read a book and this is the social structure of a zebra, but then different times of year they will form and reform and form big groups and split and migrate. Sometimes individuals will move away from a group, so I'm not entirely sure what's going on here in this particular area at this time of year.
When nature calls, Maui is the only answer. Satisfy your wanderlust and take to the open road in one of our fully equipped motorhomes. Boasting a fridge, gas stovetop, AC and bathroom, our motorhomes are comfortable and spacious, making any self-drive adventure in the Kruger or garden route memorable. Whether you travel alone, as a couple or the whole family, Maui has a motorhome for you. Maui, home where you roam.
Hello, I'm James Hendry, and I'd like to take you on a very different kind of safari through the wild heart of Madagascar. In Undersea, we'll track the Indri's eerie call through misty rainforest. Then it's east on to Masuala, where lemurs leap through the jungle, coral reefs glow beneath the waves, and adventure waits around every bend. Come, let's explore it together.
When adventure calls, answer with Brits. Take on Southern Africa's most breathtaking landscapes from behind the wheel of a fully equipped 4x4 or SUV. From tents and bedding to a fridge and full kitchen gear, everything you need is already on board. And with 24-hour roadside assistance, you're free to go further and explore with confidence. Open roads, total freedom, no limits, just the journey ahead. Brits, equipped for adventure.
And that was more of a, that to me was more of a, move back a bit out my way sort of kick. That wasn't a particularly snap response. I'd be interested to find if there's any statistics on actual measurements of pressure around equine's kicks, or looking at that giraffe, indeed giraffe kicks. They can definitely kill a lion. Is this giraffe going to come in as well? There's no room! Ah, there's a tiny little zebra there. It. Let's go back across to Safari Hook. Lovely to see Aldonio here, but we are struggling a little bit with this camera today. So let's spend the last minute or so across at Safari Hook. That looks like a ghost elephant. With our, where we started, with our Abdim storks. I have seen Abdim storks before, but not often. They're not a vastly common species thing. They are around. Have I seen them in the Kruger before? I can't remember. But yeah, they didn't immediately jump out at me, so every day is a school day. And shame that our lions have moved off, but very, very cool to be Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day, that's what that couple were doing. They decided to spend a small portion of their Valentine's Day celebrations with us here, just to remind us that today love is in the air. I apologise for the issues, story of my life, but thank you all so much for joining us on this Saturday afternoon. So be romantic, watch the sunset or the sunrise, and I will be back again to join you soon. Take care out there. Bye bye.